Hello and welcome to the Boondoggle podcast. I am Rebecca. I have purple background.
Hello, my name is Michelle. I have a yellow background.
And I am Lindsay. I have the blue background. Background? Oh. Ooh.
We all went into accents.
Rebecca started it. I finished it.
And I'm Jaeger. Because Kelsey ain't here.
Oh yes,
Okay.
Kelsey.
About everything.
Kelsey's
No
not here.
Kelsey. No Kelsey.
So,
Kites. What are they about? Jeez.
yeah. How
Eating
about
people?
them English-speaking titans?
How about we don't talk
English.
about it because it's bad.
I was so excited for the
I
dub.
know.
But at the same time, I was also worried that they were going to screw up, like, some characters.
yeah.
They, like, managed to screw up, like, all the characters.
I know. Okay, no, like when the first trailer came out, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm so excited." And then like first person you meet is Jean. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, Jean. I'm like, "Fuck you guys. It's Jean."
Oh, wait. No.
What?
My casa? How is it they said it? Instead of,
Mikasa, like we all thought, and what the Japanese dub is like.
They said my casa?
My casa?
Is that what you said? Is that
No,
what they called
I say
it?
it's Mikasa, but
Okay.
like whatever the
you're like, mi casa.
because it's like Tsukasa, Mikasa. Wait, what? Whatever.
I don't
Is
know,
that not
apparently
right?
That's the way you're supposed to say it, but is like Mikasa. I forget how they say it. Crap. But they say it weird in the dub, and I was like,
It just
what the hell?
it seems weird because like it's English speaking people now. You're
Yeah.
like it sounds fine in the Japanese dub, but once you get to the English dub, you're like, yeah, we
it's
sound
like-
like we're idiots.
It's like the same with mommy from.
Oh my god, yeah, because it just sounds like they're saying mommy.
Exactly the same mommy. And I was like,
Mom.
crap. I was like, it sounds totally okay in my head when I'm reading it and when I'm hearing them say it, and when like I think of it in my head as like, no, I'm saying it all wrong all the time.
No, but can
Call
we
us
also
her
talk
mom.
about how Levi's voice
Oh my god.
is so freaking deep? I'm like, this isn't right. You are so short, and that with that deep voice, that does not sound right. I'm sorry.
I know he's supposed to be like 40.
I thought he was
What?
just early 30s.
I thought he was like late 30s or something.
Either
I thought
way,
he was,
he's
like, the
he's
old.
he's that range, but it's still like that's too deep of a voice.
Yeah, it's just like his voice was not that deep in the Japanese, the original, was it?
No,
Am I crazy? Like,
no, you're not crazy.
We should have done a side by side.
Oh shit, we should have done that.
everybody's voice
Oh, I think
is
the
so
only
weird.
only
Like-
voice that I don't mind as much is Armin's, but I'm like,
Even Armin's like throws me off.
I
a
didn't
little
like
bit.
his. His was one of the ones that I really
Yeah,
didn't like.
his I really didn't like. I just
no, I
was
think
what
like
you doing?
it's either the voice either sounds like way from what you imagined, or it's like an older version of themselves. Like when we just heard, like I just heard Annie's. Like I haven't really listened to that one, and I'm like, it would sound like her if it didn't sound that old. Like
Okay.
they're all teenagers, but they're sounding like they're in their like late 20s. I'm like, this isn't right.
What Armin sounds like is a 12-year-old going through puberty because his voice kind of stays on the higher pitch side, and then it kind of goes even like
Oh
higher pitched. It's like, and it has that like messed up like
Oh my god.
puberty thing going on, and I was like, really? Aren't you like 15?
Yeah, it's
past
like-
that by now.
Uh,
But I like everybody's voice, and what's really annoying, I find, is this always bugs me in like any anime, is when they change the dialogue
oh my god,
for
yes.
no reason. Like, I saw clips, most of them, you couldn't even see their mouths or anything.
And they were changing all the
and they were
dialogue.
just changing the entire dialogue. Like, why? It makes sense.
You know what pisses
the
me off the
subtitles.
most about that? They totally changed the 3D maneuver gear. It's like
What's it
omnidirectional gear or something like that. It's like, I know you guys have to like fit a certain like a number of syllables with the mouth flaps, but like,
Isn't it also called that though?
no, it's mostly called 3D maneuver gear. Like in the show, it's always
I hope that
3D.
they like abbreviate that somehow, because even if you were in that position where you were talking about that thing and you were like about to attack a Titan, would you take that amount of time to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think you'd say like Omni gear or 3D gear or something?
Yeah.
Or
You're
just
literally
gear.
like, what? And up until this point, like, we're recording on the 14th, like, we still have not heard Aaron's voice.
Oh my god, watch Aaron.
Who is
do
all
best.
afraid of Aaron's voice actor?
I was
coming?
worried
Like,
for Aaron,
put your
but
hand
now
up.
I'm kind of like optimistic just a little bit because maybe he's the one that doesn't sound like an idiot.
Maybe that's why they're saving it.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but they're saving it for the premiere in Anime Boston or whenever that is.
Oh.
But like, I'm just terrified because I'm like, this is the person whom you're gonna hear a lot of. Like, they're always gonna be talking and yelling and screaming.
All the dialogue also sounds like cheesy. Is it just me?
No.
Like, it sounds kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm slice and dice them. I was like, I don't think anybody said that ever because this is a serious situation and whatever
yeah.
else.
And then like with the whole I'm a warrior and I'm like,
Yeah.
I
Kate,
don't remember you saying
I don't
that.
think
Yeah.
she said that.
was that completely made up, like that entire thing? Because I watched it and I didn't remember that at all.
Yeah.
That whole speech does happen, and a lot of that is actually pretty similar to what Mikasa says, except for I don't think the warrior bit was in there at all.
Yeah.
Like, I do not remember that part.
I think she
I
said, might have
remember
said like a
you
fighter
guys,
or like
yeah.
something like that. She never
She
said she was
was
a
like-
warrior.
you guys kind of suck. I'm your best, whatever.
Like, peace out, homies.
That part though, she freaking after that speech, she just like jumps off, and she's like, if I die, I die, or whatever. She jumps off the building, and you hear the 3D maneuver gear like click on, but it sounds like she hit the ground. I was like,
After
And
that
then
whole speech about being the
A
best.
second later, she like flies off the screen. I was like, oh my god.
But
you
yeah, like
You don't notice that when you're just like reading the subtitles and stuff. But it really
yeah,
sounds
because you're like,
it
I'm
comes out.
concentrating on reading here. But no,
Oh,
like whenever I was looking up the batch of voice actors that came out today, Reiner's voice actor is Toe Jam from Peach Girl.
Oh
Also
my
known as
God.
Toji.
Toji.
We call him Toe Jam.
Freaking Toe Jam, I hate him.
I know.
am him.
And because we know what happens, you're like, oh no, grr. You're like, I hate you.
Okay. What Attack on Titan dub is reminding me of is not a dub of an anime, but a dub of a video game.
Oh no.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Like you'll just look at the pictures and, you know, the voices kind of go with it, and it's just the voice itself is pretty clear, and like everything else is not so clear. Like you just like hear the voice, and it's like when they're dialoguing with each other, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It's just like scripted dialogue in a video game. That kind of sounds convincing, but like if they were moving around, they probably wouldn't be so convincing.
You know what I
That's
just
it's like?
I just thought of this. I'm thinking of the part where they're going into the forest and Levi says, Aaron, look at all these big ass trees. I can't wait to hear that now. I'm gonna be like, this is going to be my ringtone now.
Wasn't that like a subtitle, like not error, but like they just
I don't
Exaggeration?
because there's some subtitles that have big ass trees in it, and then there's some subtitles that don't have that.
I don't
They
remember.
have, like, look at these very large trees or whatever they are. Blah 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 blah.
I guess it
And
just
I
depends.
want
like,
to go
aw.
and rewatch it now because
If
I'm like,
the
I
same-
feel so tainted after hearing like the English voices. Not saying they're bad, but They're bad connecting with the characters. That's what I'm meaning.
I'll probably
Voice?
get used to it.
Yeah,
but,
like
you
like
know.
what we do with any dub, we will get used to it, but we're always gonna be
I-
like,
Could have
I
been
don't
better.
know if I will.
yeah.
There have been dubs where I've actually literally could not get used to it. Like D Gray Man. I tried. I tried getting used
I
to
tried to
it.
even get into that anime and I was just like, what the fuck's going
Okay.
on?
Read the manga, it's like way better.
That's what I've heard, and I'm like,
I'm
nah.
trying. I'm trying so hard to watch the dub for that show, and I got pretty far in the manga. Like, and I'm trying to watch the show, and the voice I imagined for Alan ended up being somebody else's voice.
So you're basically like,
Or
I
no,
thought
I am-
this, but I got
Sorry,
that.
sorry, I'm mixing it up. The voice I imagined for a different character ended up being Alan's voice, and what Alan's voice I imagined it being as was closer to what that character's voice was than what
Yeah, that always
it actually
sucks.
was.
I hate that.
And I was like, so every time, and they're near each other quite a bit, and I was like, oh my god, just stop talking. I don't like this, and it throws me off. I'll go back to watch it, and I'm like, oh my god, this throws me off. And I keep watching it. I'm like, I'm kind of used to it, but it still throws me off every now and again. And then, like, I'll stop watching it for a while, and I tried going back for it, and I was like, I can't do this.
Oh my
I'm
God.
still not used to this. I
Okay,
can't
no,
do
that's
this.
totally like me and watching Magi. I
Oh.
started watching the anime's dub because I'm like, the manga is like too far ahead. I'm just like, I cannot catch up, and I'm like, I also need something to watch, so let's watch this. And I'm like, okay, Alibaba's voice, it's okay. It's not what I expected, but it's okay. Then Aladdin's voice, oh my god, it is so high pitched and girly. I'm like, I expected you to be a little boy, not a little girl. Like, what's going on? I don't understand this.
Okay,
It's
the
just
other thing.
awkward.
The other thing with the Gray Man anime is that they're like, let's have filler, and that's pretty much where I stopped watching it.
Yeah,
When
that's
the
what I
filler
heard
started.
too.
I was like, oh dear, this is filler. Oh dear, this is long filler. Like at least 2 or 3 episodes of filler. I cannot do this. And I was like, Daniel, let's just stop watching this. I can't. Oh.
But no, with the Attack on Titan dub, I'm like, this can either go really, really well, and it's just those trailers make us be like all like skeptical, like
Well,
one
I
of
mean,
those
you're gonna be skeptical anyways because it's like this huge anime and you want it to be the
Yes.
best it can be. So you're gonna go into it skeptical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
like
It's
these
also,
trailers, like, you know how like some trailers don't do things justice?
Yeah.
This might be the case for it, but you never know.
I feel like there's enough clips for me to know that this is not going to end well. Like with
Yes.
other things, you see some trailers and you're like, oh, I don't really like that because it's not, it doesn't show like scene by scene or whatever. This is literally showing scenes to us, and it's
True.
shown how many scenes? Like 6 more? I don't know. And
The one cool
they're
thing,
changing
though,
the dialogue for no reason to make stuff cheesy, and stuff that makes no sense, and for no reason. Like you don't even see their mouths moving. You couldn't. I always hate that. Like you literally don't have to change any dialogue
Mhm.
because it would fit in that scene, and you don't have to. Oh.
Yeah, but the one cool thing is like Sasha, her voice actress is Hey Ash, what you playing? So it's
Yep.
Ashley Burch, and I'm like, this actually fits the character, even though we've only heard
Yeah.
her say like
Yeah.
and I'm like, that actually fits the character.
Sasha? Did you say Sasha?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sasha.
Okay. I was thinking of, for some reason, the other girl there that looks kind of like Sasha, the Hanji.
The one with the goggles
Oh,
or
yeah.
glasses
Yeah.
or whatever. I actually liked her voice.
Yeah, her voice
Yeah.
wasn't that bad. I was like, I
Her voice was
pictured
pretty good.
this. I
Mhm.
pictured this voice in my head, or created audio clips of it.
Yeah.
But no, like literally everyone else, you're like, nah.
I think also the problem is that we're so attached to the original voices, and that's like
Yeah.
their voices, you know?
Yeah.
But it's also still like I can tell when stuff is poorly dubbed. Like I'm not an
Mhm.
idiot.
Like, especially for Mikasa's voice, I always pictured like a lower toned, like kind of monotone voice. And then it's like this voice comes out and I'm like, this doesn't suit her character in a way. But
It's just
a
her
lot of people have been
speech.
saying that her voice actress can pull out like really good stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but I haven't watched this stuff and I'm not bothering to look up
It could have
clips.
just been like that scene. She was supposed to be all like, not
Yeah.
emotional, maybe. And so there was like some sort of undertone there that made it
Mhm.
sound weird. So it could be better in other scenes.
Yeah.
I just that speech just made me laugh, honestly. It
Yeah.
was just like you watch it in Japanese and you're like, yeah,
You're like,
this is
you're
what
like,
she's
yeah.
saying or whatever. You're like, yeah, everybody get pumped. And then this one, she's just like, I'm better than you. You're all a bunch of babies.
I'm a
Peace
warrior.
out.
You pussies.
Whacked into the ground. And then she flies off screen.
Oh.
But I was just laughing. I was like, "Oh my god, Mikasa! Like what?"
So, long story short, we're worried about the Attack on Titan dub.
Very worried.
Yes, extremely. One second, I have to redo something that I should have done earlier. My bad.
That's
Ooh.
all good. But in other anime news, do we want to move on to Sailor Moon?
Something more acceptable.
I think
Yeah.
you mean Sailor Moon Crystal.
I'm like seriously excited about this.
I know, because you can tell by the promotional art that they are sticking with that style. They're not trying to like make it like one of the like new mainstream anime styles. They're like, no, we like this style. We're gonna keep it.
So,
I think it's like they want to keep it to the original like manga style, which is what
Yeah.
it was like in the anime, which is really nice. I think.
Yes.
It's just going to be higher quality. So.
Yes.
Which
HD.
makes things way better.
Let's cross our fingers for no bad CGI.
Yeah.
So is this going to be like, is this just a revamp or what is it?
I believe it is a revamp, but they're getting rid of all the unnecessary filler. So it's following the manga.
Yeah, originally people thought like, oh, it's going to be about their children. But
It's because of
Alright,
the fake
Yeah.
leaks
Yeah.
that were out. And I was like, I was just so sure. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is fake.
yeah, I'm
because
pretty sure you and I were talking about it and we were like, this
just does not
seems
seem
fake.
legit.
It seems so fake because it does not seem right. And because we were like, they're basically carbon copies of their parents. We were like,
Yeah.
no.
I was like, that would be the stupidest thing because it was literally like them shrunk down.
Yeah, it was
Like,
yeah,
it's-
it was basically that. And then like Mini Moon was like immortal and I'm just like, God damn it.
Minnie Moon was like a teenager, and
Yeah.
like,
You're just like, this is not right.
I was so confused. I was like, this better not be what I think it is. And it was like it was really dumb. The Shrine Maiden outfit that
Oh my god.
Sailor
Yeah.
Mars's kid had was so stupid because no Shrine Maiden has like a mini skirt. Like it doesn't happen for their freaking like outfits, you know?
Yeah, you're
Like,
just
it's-
like, this would never happen, so why? Just why?
But yeah, I'm excited for this.
I am too, and it's supposed to be released sometime in July of this year.
I'm
So-
kind of wondering if I should, because I found a thing where it listed like the episodes that were, you know, essential to the plot and
Yeah.
that you could watch, and like it would link to them and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like wondering, I was like, should I just watch that and then be prepared for when this comes out, or should I watch the new one and then everything that I forgot about the old one, it'll seem new again, sort of deal. So I don't know.
Well, like, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where you could still watch the old one, get the gist of the idea, and then be like, okay, maybe they'll.
Get the gist by watching all those episodes. Yeah, I think I got a gist of this.
But like, you never know. They might change it up in the new one a bit. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you know, could happen.
I've never really seen a whole bunch of Sailor Moon. I've seen like I tried watching the first couple of episodes and I couldn't get through it just because of the main character.
Yeah.
She's really whiny in the first episodes.
Yeah.
She is. She's very whiny. She's pretty much whiny throughout it.
Yeah, it's like she's whiny, and then she has those moments where she's like, "I'm gonna kick your ass," and then it's like, please
she has
don't
like
hurt
really great moments, but a lot of the time it's just like whining, and you're like, oh man. Which is why this is kind of funny. I'm actually hoping for different voice actresses and stuff.
They probably will.
Like maybe not for the Japanese one because I don't really know how the. I think I've heard her voice in Japanese and it's still super high pitched and annoying.
Yeah, but it's like for the English one, you don't want it to be like
no, because
super high pitched because that's annoying.
admittedly those voices weren't so great. I don't know, maybe they're better now at what they do, but back then, like they like I watched I had that Super Sailor S movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And I watched it like a few years ago, and I was like, "Oh God, their voices are annoying."
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't remember these being that annoying. Like, apparently, as a child, I have very high tolerance to.
We all had a high tolerance. Like
maybe it's because we all had annoying voices.
Yeah. Well, like when you're little, you're more or less like, yeah, this is a cool show. And then later on in life, you're like, oh my God, it was annoying.
I'm so confused because I don't remember ever, like, I'm positive that I've seen like an episode or two of Sailor Moon when I was younger, but I don't remember watching it at all. Like, I couldn't have watched it, yet I would draw Sailor Moon. Like, I drew her on the wall when I was younger, and I had a board game and stuff, so I'm really confused.
You must have watched it because you knew, like, Sailor Mars and all that different stuff. Maybe you watched it at my house because we're neighbors.
Maybe.
And you just came over.
The case.
I have no memory of it at all.
You've like repressed those memories.
I guess. The board game was cool though.
Mew Mew Power. Those memories are bright and bold.
Mew Mew Power. Mew
Styling your face. Yep.
Remember when you missed that episode where it was like the third or fourth episode?
Is it the one where there was like they kissed?
The kiss?
Oh
yes.
My God.
You missed it and I had to tell you the next like day at school or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God,
I was so upset.
It's bad that I really want to
missed
go
it.
back and watch that.
I actually started going through them. I got pretty far. Like I got past where the dub stopped.
Yeah. Was that a 4Kids dub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so upset because they stopped the dub right at like this
the best
totally
part.
awesome part. And then it just stopped and then it started over. I was like, okay, I guess it's just starting over, and then when it gets to that point again, they'll have new episodes because they did that with shows back then. And they just started it over again and started it over again.
Yep.
Sooner and sooner too. Like it'd be like halfway through the show instead of getting to the end, and it'd just start over. And I'm like, no.
It's the 4Kids syndrome because they did the exact same thing with One Piece.
They finished Shaman King.
Shaman King was good though. Okay, fucking love that show.
Yeah.
And they were making a sequel, and I was like, I want this to be a thing, but it never was.
Yeah, I'm super excited for a non-super filler episodes of Sailor Moon, and like actually
so good.
Like you could follow the plot per episode instead of being like, except for that one episode with that fat cat.
Oh my God.
I love that fat cat. That was like one of my favorite episodes.
I've seen gifs of that fat cat.
Fat cat. That liked Luna.
Yeah.
And it was green.
Oh my God, yes.
I remember asking Kelsey one time, I was like, Kelsey, do you remember that fat cat in Sailor Moon? She's like so confused. I was like, I'm going to find this. And I went and searched it. She was like, oh my God, I remember this fat cat.
I remember this fat cat. Meow, cat. Cute cat. And a dance, and a dance.
I love that episode. If any filler episode continued on into this series, it should be that fat cat one.
Yes. But no, like, you know me, I'm like, what is the English dub gonna be like?
I'm hoping it's
First it
better.
has
I
to be
mean, it's hard to get
Japanese.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so scared nowadays for like anime coming over here because it's like the dubbing. So bad.
We
I
all
think
just
it's
need
hard
to
to
become
get-
voice actors and,
Yeah.
do a good job.
Well, no, like,
Horrible
okay,
voice
like,
actors.
no, back to the Attack on Titan thing for a moment. The
Yeah.
Bridge series that I've seen have done a better job than what Funimation has done so far.
I haven't seen that.
Except
I'm
for
just
making
thinking of
Mikasa sound like a man, like, other
Yeah.
than that.
No, that's a perfect voice for her. I really like Levi's voice in the not the dub, sorry.
The abridged.
The abridged one, like the AOT shorts.
Yes.
That's pretty great.
Fucking asshole. But no,
They did a really good job.
they put their heart and soul.
Like I felt like those voices more associated with the characters than like, these voices.
Even though it was just a parody and you're
I
like laughing
know.
at everything and it's supposed to be serious and you're like, I'm a horrible person.
Some parodies are really good at voice acting stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah. I feel like
Something-
it's hard to get worse than what the 90s voice acting we
Oh my
had
god.
for Sailor Moon and whatever other animes we had, because let's face it, 90s voice acting was not that great.
No.
Like
Something that you don't have to worry about the voices is Ruby, because we already know the voices.
Thank
yeah.
the Lord.
Well, I mean, technically for the new voice guys, the new guys.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But we don't even
But-
know them, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, like, they don't have to have those weird translation, like, hiccups. So, like, we don't have that problem.
Did you say 9 times out of 10 Ruby does not have translation issues?
What's
really
the
say
one
that?
time out of 10? What are they translating?
Did I say that?
You
Oh my god. I did say that.
Because they don't translate anything, Lindsay. And what was that one time they did? Remind me of that.
I don't know. I'm losing it.
Just translation from their head onto, like, paper. That's, like, one time.
Oh my god.
So, season 2 of that is coming out, but first it's gotta get translated.
You, okay? I have owned up to my mistake. Stop it.
We're gonna hold that over you like chingers.
No. Stop there.
Yeah, Ruby season 2. I don't know, like, what's the news on this? Is this just, like...
July 4th, whenever RTX is,
RTX,
that's when
yeah.
it's premiering. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. If
July-
not, I'm wrong.
That's not
Should
the
I
best.
double check?
No, I'm pretty sure that they premiere at RTX. And RTX is July 4th.
Yeah, that's what I mean. by-
Because it's on the American whatever... What is it called?
Independence Day.
Yeah.
The American whatever. That's a good name for it. Keep doing that. Remember that movie, The American Whatever?
Yeah.
Dad watches it all the time.
Yeah, it says second season was announced to be premiered at 2014 RTX in July 4th to 6th. Ooh.
Okay, so it's the first episode's going to come out at RTX, and
Yeah.
then
So
we
that
gotta
means
wait for
the
it
rest
for, like,
of the
a week.
world will have to wait a week, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then we get to start the show, basically.
Yes.
Sweet. I am excited. Gonna be a fun summer.
It's kind of
coming
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Freeze,
Coming
back.
back.
Why aren't we talking about that? Because it's
Attack on Titan's probably coming back. I'm
yeah,
assuming.
it's like we need those summer blockbusters where it's just like crying titans and
And swimming.
yeah. Well, technically the crying was for the swimming, but whatever.
But yeah,
Cry me a
for
river and swim in
Ruby,
it.
I'm really excited for like legit plot to happen.
Oh my god, yes.
Because this
Like-
was all, like, set up and stuff. So
Yeah.
now we're going to get into stuff.
Yeah, I kind of wish they didn't set up like Jean right away.
Yeah.
I wish they set up someone else.
Yeah, like it was weird because it's like, yeah,
Like, someone
okay,
on Team
Jean is
Ruby,
gonna be
maybe.
like a big character, but it's like the show's called Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a
think
little
that
confused.
his whole setup could have been like something that was saved and like, you know, you would be attached to the character and then suddenly like, yay, this thing.
Well, it's like after a while with Jean, I was just sort of like, I don't care.
Like, I like Jean.
Yeah, but it's like after a while you're just like,
That was a long time to be on Jean for so long.
The side character, yeah.
Yeah. It was a bit much. It was like that this is like maybe 2 episodes for Ruby episodes, not like what was it, 3 or 4?
Yeah, I never actually like realized how much there was in that. But yeah, now that you mentioned
quite a bit of space in
we could,
the
you know what's sad?
Yeah.
We could probably like, well, I would assume it's like an hour long. We could like marathon it all in an hour.
we could do it in preparation for season 2.
Yes.
Yeah, the day
To
before
get
it
together
comes
and
out.
watch it. Yeah.
Party, slumber party.
Yeah! Slumber party!
Slumber party lasts an hour. Get out.
Get out of the house.
We make those dumb bunk beds like in Ruby where they're just
my
like
God.
the dangerous like just regular bed on top of regular bed. But yeah, I'm excited to see like the new villains. Like
Yeah.
and more of what's his name?
That
I know
guy.
his name. I know his name.
You're thinking about the guy with the cane, right?
Yeah, the guy.
What is?
I don't know.
Oh,
Does it ever say his
Torchwick.
name in the
Torchwick,
okay.
yes.
Torchwick.
Yes.
Is he supposed to yeah.
His character is supposed to be moved along.
I really like characters like that. So
Yeah, same.
it intrigues me. Yeah, so and we get to find out more about like Ruby's uncle, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
If we don't, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. Like
Yeah, like I also want
because
to.
they set it up right at the end to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, like
So
I don't know if there was actually an explanation about this, but like I was talking about this with Chris and Hunter before, and we were just like, is there an explanation to why Ruby and Yang have different last names?
not
like,
yet.
Not yet. And I'm like, this is
I hope they
want
get
to
into
know.
that
Because
too.
we are speculating a lot of things, and we're like, no, that doesn't seem right. Because
They're
I
even
would
saying
think
no
it's
to
just
some
like
stuff.
adoption.
no, like Monty has said that, oh, they just have different names. They have the same parents. They're not adopted.
Wait,
That doesn't make
both the
sense,
same
though.
parents, or are they like half siblings?
They're not. They're siblings.
How can you have 2 last names?
I know, that's what I'm like. And then like Chris
Unless
is-
one took the mother's last name.
Yeah,
one took
like
the
we were
father's
saying,
last
like what if they each took one of their parents' names, and then like Chris was saying something about like different regions of where they trained, and they took like that's where they got their last
Oh
name.
yeah, that would
or
make
like
sense.
they got to pick their last name, and I'm just like,
But now I'm kind of if they have the same parents, now I'm kind of mad because they don't look
Yeah.
related at all, and the
Mhm.
traits wouldn't that's not something that would happen.
yeah, you're just like you're like I need an explanation. Like this could be a whole season at this rate.
Yeah, it could. Like,
Just explain this, please. This is all I'm asking. It's
yeah, that's pretty much my
bugging me
main pet
so
peeve.
much.
I think it's a lot of people's main pet peeve is like you just don't know. Like they're kind of half explaining it,
Yeah.
and of the half explanations make like no sense without any context.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm really hoping with context it makes sense, and not with context it won't make sense. You know?
And then it's
Yeah.
like, is it in the first episode or the second episode where Ozpin is like, you have silver eyes, and you're like, is this important?
Like, does that have to be important?
is
Like,
this important, or were you just stating something? I'm confused.
I would assume
I'm-
that it's
I'm
something
wondering-
important.
Yes.
it is probably some genetic trait that like her uncle has
Yeah.
and that she has or whatever, and I want to
Probably.
know what it is.
You're just like, I need these answers now.
Answer. I really want to know more about her uncle. Like,
yes.
her
I-
parents bother me a little bit, but her uncle really like
Yeah, because we were
itches
given a name.
inside.
We know his name. It is Crow, spelt with a Q.
He-
And you're like,
He is purposefully like, like edged at more and more. Like beginning of it, and then like right at the end of it, it's like there's his name, and I'm like, oh my god, what's happening?
You know what will piss me off? If it turns out he's the bad guy.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying this, like, speculations. If that does happen, I'm gonna be mad, but
what kind of bad guy trains the hero?
Yeah. Weren't we assuming that, like, Penny was, his or whatever? Like,
yeah, I think we were. I don't know if we said that, like, not on the podcast, but we did say something like, oh, he built her or whatever, but she's human, or is she?
That's, like, the speculation that we have for it.
Yeah.
Like,
we just need answers. That's all we ask.
Setting up all these questions.
But something that we were given was there was a contest.
Oh yes,
for
yes.
Velvet's new outfit, and now we have the results after however long that was.
Yeah, how long was that? Did that happen like
long, yeah.
mid-season?
Yeah,
for the first one. It was like, hey, after she was introduced, you guys want to make costumes? It's like,
I mean, I guess there was a lot to choose from, and it was hard to decide.
It takes a long time to get through, especially when people keep adding more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, what was it? Like, the final, like, ones that they went over? Because it was, Katie, the voice actor for... Is it Velvet? It's just Velvet. I don't know.
Velvet, yeah.
Anyway, it was her and Monty going over them, and there was, like, 26 or so designs, and Monty's just like, I don't like these. I like this, but I don't like this. And he's just like, okay, so these two, because, like, they gave out a dev diary, and you're like, oh, this is so cool. And then you're like,
how annoying would it be if you were sitting at home watching that video and you see them scroll over one of your designs and yours wasn't chosen? How mad would you be?
You'd be heartbroken.
Oh. Or you could be excited because, like, wow, they liked it.
Yeah, like...
Or unless they're like, man, this sucks.
This one sucks.
Yeah, like, and the one thing is like with her design that they did pick, I'm like, I'm slightly confused because she's supposed to be a mage, and I'm like, I guess they're not going with like the typical mage like outfit costume. I'm like, is she like a mage fighter? I know everything has guns involved, so I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Now I think that their whole like costumes and stuff, they kind of don't always have to go with like what they are. It's very original and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think that the designs were pretty open. Mage was just like something to get people's ideas rolling.
Yeah. And it was like,
I'm sure they didn't want something too like generic either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You really want these outfits to stand out, like
Yeah, you wouldn't want to like look at something and be like, "Oh, that's a mage from a video game, some random."
Yeah, like that makes a lot of sense. But it's like
it still kind of has like a like because of the gold or whatever design, it still looks mystical-ish.
Yeah.
So
like, the color
seems
good.
Like,
I think I remember Monty saying that he was like gonna tweak the design a bit, though.
I kind of hope he wants to like stay true to design, but I hope that he tweaks some things. Like the upper part looks kind of
plain
off to me. Yeah,
it's because like all of his character designs are very like not elaborate, but they've got that one thing where you're like, oh man, that's so cool, and it's like, this is cool, but the shirt's kind of
like even if he just adjusted the shoulder things a little bit to make it go over more, maybe it could, look better.
If something like came down from her shoulders to like her chest area,
that's what I was thinking.
That would look nice, I think.
Or even like a design,
or a design somewhere, like something in that area or something.
It's missing just that one thing.
And, like, on the sleeves, too. Mm-hmm. The sleeves are, like, super plain. The bottom of the outfit is awesome, I think.
I love the bottom.
It's just the shirt is, like, feels super plain.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that gives Monty some freedoms with it, like...
Yeah.
To add, a design or...
Yeah, because it is his character, and he's like, this helps me. I'm gonna tweak it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just a wee bit. Because, yeah, like, it's awesome that they went out to the community to be like, hey, sup, guys? Contest, bye.
Yeah, and
I
they
love
were
that.
even saying how, like, seeing these designs and stuff will help them, like, develop the character and that, because they didn't have any character developed for her, really. It was just supposed to showcase how faunuses were treated, and then everybody was like, oh, look at that character, I want to see more about that character, so they were like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also Monty said that, like, a lot of the designs he had seen, he was like, it resembled a lot of other characters that you haven't met yet. And I'm like, ooh.
Like that
Yeah,
one
that's
character
That's gotta
online.
suck, though. That's
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
suck though, because like you're like make this outfit and it's like totally from your imagination, and then it's like no, this is too similar to. That was like with the Lai Ren.
Yeah.
Somebody made that OC and it was
Yeah.
like exactly like Lai Ren. I was like, oh no. And then that person was like drawing them together in pictures and stuff, and it was really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was like, that's pretty amazing, but I'm also kind of upset. I was like, I would be too, because she was thinking of adding it to the OC contest or whatever.
Is
It was
there
a contest, right? I think
I
so.
don't know.
A long
There
time
might
ago.
be.
No, not anymore. Like a long time ago.
Yeah, wasn't it to like create a team? Wasn't there a thing to create a team?
Yeah, it was the guidelines of it because he was like, it has to be like a color. And
Yeah,
like,
everybody's like initials or whatever has to make
Have
a
to-
color.
yeah, and like they have, and it was like it was very easy to follow, but a lot of fans were like, nah, and you're like, no, the creator even said this, and they're like, nah, you're like, stop. That's how I find it, because it's like, oh man, their designs are really cool, and then it's like the name doesn't work out, and you're like, it's just one of those things. It's those pet peeves where you're like, you were given instructions, follow them.
Like I can see doing it for fun, and then like maybe not handing it in.
We should do it.
What is
Dude,
that
we
going
could
on
do
right
it.
now?
No, I was
What?
just meaning for fun.
Oh, yeah, we should do that. That'd
That would
be
be
fun,
cool.
actually.
hmm And then it's like, oh, great, now we have to make weapons.
Weapons are gonna be super hard, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we're gonna
It's like
have
I have a stick.
With the gun.
Gun.
the stick
Oh
turns
crap, that's
into a
already
bazooka.
taken.
Just a gun taped to a stick. Like,
Yeah.
look at my weapon.
Oh, look at this crazy thing. And then they were like, what the hell?
I just realized that that's practically the guy with the cane. He practically like
That's
has
what I
that.
was saying. I was like, stick with a gun. Oh wait, that's already taken.
I missed that.
Like, just the fact that that's taken is the thing. Like, and I know it's a staff with a gun, but still.
I wonder
it's
if
the whole
they
principle.
went through this whole conversation too. They were like, there should be like a stick with a gun, and then they were like, okay.
They're like, oh my god, staff with a gun. They're like, that's way better.
Oh,
Then
but
we don't
no,
sound like idiots.
but no, yeah, like we should totally do this at some point. We should make our own. Like, we're good at this stuff.
Team.
We're good at
Yeah.
brainstorming. I mean, look at us. We're a podcast.
We
can do whatever
storm
we want.
brains.
We can do whatever we want. Nothing binds us down to like any laws or whatever.
Yes. Who cares? Let's break some laws.
Spell. We can be a rebellious group of magical teenagers.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We already are.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
We'd be like, screw the man, and then we'd show up to class anyway. We'd be like, well, I just
No, we
felt like
would
coming
show up to
today.
class
Whatever.
30 minutes early and be like, we're here to learn. Thumbs up.
Just do like fake like thug life kind of like excuses to why you're in class. Like, I felt like coming. It's all of my decision. Whoa.
They were going to suspend me if I didn't
What are
come.
you gonna do? What?
I was rebelling from home. Jeez.
Parents
guys
didn't
said
want me to
not show up
learn.
to class
Went
if I'm going
against
to
them.
bring an attitude, so here I am with an attitude. Yes, sir, I'll read that book right now.
So,
So we gotta do
Rebecca,
that.
did you want to go to the next thing that's here? I don't know what this is.
Check. Here we go.
So, thing I did on Wednesday was pretty awesome.
My sister also did that thing on
Did
Wednesday.
she?
Yeah, she did.
On Wednesday,
Yeah.
like 7:30.
No, I think she went to the earlier one.
Okay, because we went to the later one and it was hilarious. Okay, so I went to go see Potted Potter, which is
You have this amazing
Better
ability to not say what
clarify that.
something is, and then like talk about it, and then say what it is. Like,
By the way, Potted Potter. It's like a two-man show of 70 minutes of these two going through all 7 books of Harry Potter.
Oh my
And-
god.
I'm pretty sure it was longer than 70 minutes because stuff happened. And but it was funny I have to say this because before we actually went to Potted Potter, we went off to the mall, which is right by the place where it was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, we're gonna get some food at the food court. And we went down the escalator and like we took just a couple of steps into the food court. It's bustling and there's lots of noise or whatever, but so clear I could hear the freaking whistle song from the Hunger Games, you know, that she uses with Rue.
Yeah.
yeah.
The doo doo doo.
The Mockingjay call or whatever it
yeah,
is.
the Mockingjay call. And I was like, what? Hold up. And like me and my brother and his wife were just like, we all heard that. And I was like, they kept walking and I was kind of walking, but I was kind of walking slower. And I was like, okay, they're not on the ground. They would be up somewhere where I could see them. So I looked up and they're on the 2nd floor. There's like 4 guys and there's just the one guy holding out like 3 fingers out to the people below him, whistling the song. And so I had whistled back to him and he's like looking frantically for me, like, where is she? Like, who did that? And I like put up my fingers like the salute and he's like, you, yes. And I was like, yeah. And it went off and got food. And occasionally we whistled the song because he continued to whistle it.
Oh my god.
So we whistled it from our little table every now and again when we heard him do it. We're like, oh, that's great.
That is hilarious.
I'm like, I might
Oh
have been
God.
the only person who did that, and I just made his day, and I just loved it. But anyway, after that, we went to Potted Potter, and it's just freaking hilarious. It's basically like the comedy duo where it's like the straight guy and then the kind of funny guy sort of deal.
Yeah, yeah.
The one guy has read like the skit basically was like the one guy has read all the books and he like knows all the knowledge of Harry Potter and the other guy has like no freaking clue.
Oh my god.
And he blows the budget on like whatever else and like we got actors for you to play all the parts and it's like, no we don't, because I blew all the budget on the dragon in book 4. It's so amazing. You should see it. Blah blah blah.
Oh my god.
And he's like, you blew up all our budget on that? He's like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes, I did. And it's like crappy little like setup on stage. There's like there was the first thing was it was all covered up and they took it off and it was like a Halloween casket thing that just said spook-key, like spooky. He's like, what does that have to do with Harry Potter? He's like, I don't know, you're the expert, you tell us. And like stuff like that. And the last or the second last one was like a wardrobe. He's like, yeah, the most important part, the wardrobe to Narnia. Oh my God. He's like, Narnia's not in Harry Potter. And eventually they open it and it's just like white on the inside, like just like a projector screen, and they use it to project something or whatever. And he was when we went to go watch it, there was a huge blizzard out. But we were like, we paid for this, we're watching it. So we kind of left really early to get there, sort of deal. And it was really worth it because it kind of added to the whole
Oh my
thing,
god.
because they kept making like Canada jokes throughout the show or whatever. So like with the Narnia one, he was like, "Ah, yes, Narnia, the only place or one of the only places in the world that snows in March." And we're all just laughing. And at one point, he like uses the illuminator, and he takes all the lights out of the room or whatever. And he's like, "Well, how do we turn it back on?" He's like, "I don't know." And it's like, "Maybe we just press the button again." And he presses the button again, and the funny guy who doesn't like read Harry Potter or whatever just has chocolate all over his face. And we're like, "What, did he get like chocolate frogs or something?" No, he had a freaking chocolate beaver tail.
Oh my god.
He was like, it's like, when I say the chocolate covered his face, I mean the whole lower portion of his face was literally all chocolate.
So he had basically a chocolate beard?
Yeah, basically.
Oh my god.
Did you go out into the blizzard to get a beaver tail? He's like, they're just so good. And he ends up laughing when he's eating it, and it like spits out of his face and lands on the stage, and he's like, and the other guy's laughing so freaking hard, and they're all trying not to like laugh so much, and he's like, "Oh, it's so good," and he's like, "Well, he's gonna go clean up," and then later he like falls to the ground for some reason. And he starts backing up, and we're like, "No, no, no," because he's about to back up into the piece of beaver tail that he spat out.
Oh.
And then he like stops, and he's like, "Oh, they're just so good." And he's like, "No, no, don't do it, don't do it." And he just like takes a bite of it and just like keeps going.
Oh.
It's like a bunch of other stuff, and there was like a Quidditch match during it. Mm-hmm. Since we were in the balcony, we were the cheering team, but we didn't screw anything up. So he was like, "You guys are doing good." I was like, "It's a good thing we're in the balcony, because then we don't get shit on." And they got two kids up on stage to be like the seekers, and the one guy was dressed up as like the snitch. And the one kid, like, he was like, "Okay, you gotta tackle him. You gotta tackle him to the ground to win," or whatever. So, like, we're on the Slytherin side, and the Slytherin kid caught him first. But he didn't, like, knock him down, I guess. And the other kid, who was really short, ran into him. And here's the funny thing. He ran into him. The kid is just about crotch level. Runs straight into his crotch. And he drops to the ground.
Oh, my gosh.
And the guy's like, "That kid just ran into your crotch." And he was like, "I was hoping you would notice that." He was like, "Oh," and then the other guy just smiles at the kid. He's like, "That's going to be a happy memory for me forever." Perfect. I was like, this was one of the best freaking nights ever, because
yeah. No, when my sister went to go see it, she was like just telling me about it, and she was like, "It was so funny," and I'm like, "Oh man, I wish I went."
It was so great. Like, even if you don't really like Harry Potter, it's great because it's like the one guy on stage, you know, is kind of like that person who doesn't.
You can relate to him.
Yeah, and he's just like spewing out like nonsense or whatever. So it was pretty great. And there's like parts where they have to improv quite a bit, like due to like audience reaction and whatever else, like getting hit in the crotch and eating beaver tail, and and there's a part where they made like Dumbledore's a teacher. He got into teaching joke or whatever, and we laughed at it because it was like he's the most powerful wizard, and he went into teaching, and we laughed. And then they said another joke about him going into teaching, and it's like, "What do you expect? He went into teaching." And then we all went kind of like, "Aww." And he's like, "That's the first time we've ever got booed." He's like, "This went a lot better in the States." It turns out guys like your teachers.
We also are just very sympathetic. We're like, oh.
We're like, oh, poor teacher. And then there's like one person in the audience, he was like, the one guy was like, I'm sick of being Harry Potter, I want to be someone else. And he's like, okay, you can be Dumbledore in this scene. And we're all laughing because the next scene is that scene.
Oh, that scene.
And the one kid the one person near the front in the audience is like, Dumbledore dies. And the guy's like, what did he say? And he's like, Dumbledore likes pies. And he's like, shut up. It's just, it was just perfect. They were so great at improv.
Oh.
Like, they were so great at just like the skit in general. It was like the funnest freaking show I've ever been to. And I would literally go again.
I want to go now.
You need to go, man. It was so great.
Sounds pretty cool.
I got it. I was to say another thing that happened when we were in the mall was we went to EB Games really quick before we had to leave, and we were just kind of looking around, and like these younger like these teenagers came into the store, and they were like, oh my god, I could totally buy Titanfall right now, blah blah blah. They're not of age to buy Titanfall, sort of deal. And they were kind of being like obnoxious in the store. And then the girl behind the counter is just like sasses them like, no you can't because you're not 17. I'm pretty much assuming that you're not 17, right? Sort of deal. And we're just laughing like, nice. And my brother is always like, my brother said, he's like, they always seem to forget that, don't they? It was just great. It was a fun night. Even with the blizzard, it kind of added to it. It was fun.
So
that was my day.
then I guess that about, yeah, you're gonna fall asleep.
That yawn wrapped it up.
Yawn. Wasn't that boy?
So
Tired.
this has been the Boondoggle podcast. If you want to comment on anything or, you know, just speak to us or whatever, you can do so on YouTube, our Tumblr, or our Twitter. And yeah,
Talk to us about bad anime dubs.
Yeah.
We want to hear your opinions.
You not like. I'm sure there's quite a few.
I've heard that a lot of people like all voices so far.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Legitimately?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mind you, this is Tumblr, so they could be like 12.5 or something like that. I don't know. Or is it 12.9? I can't remember the joke.
12.9 because you're not 13 yet.
Yeah, that's the joke.
So anyways, yeah, I guess we'll see you next time.
I thought you said we'll Google see you next time.
Yeah, I was
Google
gonna say like,
you.
I was gonna
We'll
say like,
Google you next time.
I was gonna say like 5 different things, so they kind of all came out at once. See you next time, and yeah, love you. Goodbye.
Bye. So long, farewell.
We've already done that before.
I don't care. It's been a while.